global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. The issue of Revolution Now has become #1 trending simply because of what has taken place in Nigeria. Several video footages has been online, has gone viral. How the police, security personnel have treated protesters on the street, not just in Lagos, but every other part of Nigeria. Don't forget that protest is part of our constitutional right as citizens of this nation, based on the fact that we are still in democracy. Whether we practice to democracy is left for us to decide. As the footage is going online has brought attention to the world body, and an Irish politician has written to the Nigerian ambassador to Ireland demanding immediate release of Revolution Now protesters. Well, Barry, in a letter to Dr. Uzoma Emenike, a Nigerian ambassador to Ireland, said it was sad that young people protesting against state repression and their economic conditions that currently prevail in Nigeria were oppressed in such brutal ways. Mike Pr0test, an Irish politician and member of the Socialist Party, has condemned the arrest of Revolution Now protesters in Nigeria by security agents and demanded their immediate release. Barry, in a letter to Dr. Uzoma Emenike, Nigerian ambassador to Ireland, said it was sad that young people protesting against state repression and their economic conditions that currently prevail in Nigeria were being oppressed and brutal in such ways. So the letter reads, "Dear Ambassador, further to my phone call earlier today with Victor Adeleke, the deputy head of mission at the Nigerian embassy, I wish to convey to you in writing my protest at the arrest of peaceful protesters in Oshogbo, Abuja, and Lagos." Mike Pr0test, I have received disturbing reports, including video footage from Nigeria, of the arrest and brutal attack on peaceful protesters on 5th of August by members of the Department of State Services, DSS. I am aware that Str0ng Samuel, a member of the Movement for Socialist Alternative and a student leader at the Obafemi Awolowo University, along with Mandate Oguntola Sunday and other protesters, were whisked away to an unknown location by the DSS in Oshogbo. I have also received reports of similar arrests, brutal attacks on peaceful protesters occurring in Abuja and Lagos at the hands of the police, and that protesters are now being held in Area F police station in Lagos. It is completely unacceptable that young people protesting against state repression and their economic condition that currently prevail in Nigeria should be oppressed in this brutal way. I demand the immediate and unconditional release of Str0ng Samuel and all of the other protesters, and indeed to make a public statement on this issue to bring this serious matter to an attention of the Irish public and the Nigerian in diaspora. Heavily armed security agents on Wednesday across major cities in Nigeria clamped down on peaceful demonstrators participating in the Revolution Now protest to demand better governance from the administration of the President Muhammadu Buhari. That's basically the news, and he's asking for immediate release of these protesters.
This is very normal because let us tell ourselves the truth. When we are talking about peaceful protests, it's the right of the people. Other bodies have also responded. For example, CIRAB also, they have written. I'm going to read a little bit of what their statement is all about. And it still points to the fact that these people have the right to protest. They are not with arms. You know, some of the things that are happening here is far beyond human comprehension. We have people with arms that are troubling this nation, and we all know them. Fulani haters, they are doing terrible things. You can't imagine watching, video clips of how young people are being killed in southern Kaduna. And these so hefty guys who are calling themselves military and all of that, where were they when all of these things were happening? And guess what? These other guys here who are coming out to protest, they are only trying to tell you, guy, the treatment meted out to us thus far is not good enough. And they want you to change the status quo. And you are arresting them, which means, hey, however I want to treat you, you've got to accept it. You'll be so amazed some of the things that were written in their placards. You'll be so surprised. Some of them are saying Nigerians are sick and tired of poverty, corruption, injustice, and untimely death. Some are saying say no to just injustice. Some are saying yes to living wages for unemployed youth. You know, those things, how harmful is it? Did we see them with gun? Were they distracting the people? They were just out there trying to do the little they can so that they can let the government understand their grievances.
That's true.
And you are arresting them. It doesn't make any sense. Sirab had also written, it's a cultural group, they have also written and demanded the immediate release of these people. According to them, they said by failing to adequately protect protesters from violent attacks, Nigerian authorities have blatantly violated their obligation under the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 as amended, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and the African Charter on Human and People's Right, to which Nigeria is a state party. Nobody should be arrested or subjected to torture and ill treatment simply for taking part in a peaceful protest. The authorities should stop criminalizing peaceful protesters. Rather than suppressing peaceful protest, the authority ought to protect peaceful protesters and ensure a safe and enabling environment for people to exercise their constitutional and internationally guaranteed right to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. Now, this was the same thing that also happened, I think, a day ago in Imo State, when some elderly people also stepped out to say, we have worked. Monies were deducted from our salaries. The essence of the deduction was for us to be paid gratuity and pension when we retire from work. Please pay us. According to the interview, they have used all the available sources to reach out to the government. Nothing has been done. Okay, let's go on a peaceful protest. They were just walking, only for them to be flogged by some hoodlums, which most people believe that it's traceable to the government, allegedly traceable to the government. I mean, these things are too terrible. We need to calm down and understand that these are the same people who voted us into office. These are the same people who went under the rain, went under difficult, atmospheric condition to vote us in. Some of them paid their way because they trusted us. They knew that we can do better for them. But look at how they are being treated. It therefore means, hey, just imagine, let me show a true picture of it. Your child comes back and tells you, Daddy, for a day now, I have not eaten. And you pick up cane and you begin to beat that child. Please think about it. You pick up cane and begin to beat. So how dare you come and tell me you are hungry? Can't you see that I'm doing a lot of things in the house? Your wife come and meet you and say, sweetheart, for a while now, you have not given me clothes. I don't even have clothes to wear. Ordinarily, a good husband, even each of them that are occupying all those positions, and even some of those military people who did those things to those young people, you explain to them and say to your wife, you tell her, please give me some time. I'm working on something, and you just say one or two things to appease the child. Your wife comes and asks, I don't have clothes. You pick up cane and start flogging her. How dare you ask me? Bros, now by force, where you been come marry her? You told the people that you love them. You told them that I can fix your problem. Go back. Let's date it back to 2013, when they went on this same thing. The likes of Lai Mohammed was a part of it. They went out moving on peaceful protests. They were not intimidated. They were not troubled. They went out. They did what they had to do. And they give out a lot of statement that Jonathan is not qualified. He should step aside and give the power to the right person. Nobody touched you. But the same thing another person is doing. Why not create an opportunity to interact with them? Or maybe on a national daily, talk to the people. But look at what is happening. It's really not good. No matter how you look at it, it's not right.
It is actually in Nigeria we get to hear words like illegal protest.
Protest? My God. I don't have the right to talk again. These people voted us into power. Let's be real. They voted us into power. Yeah, they said, what's his name? Sowore is trying to usurp the government. Is trying to take over, destabilize the government and all of that. But hey, brother, as much as we know, we've seen this kind of thing happen in other countries and the government was not troubled. Nothing happened to the government.
It's not just recently that
Germany did the same thing because of restriction. Everybody went on the street and said, hey, we don't enjoy this thing. They say even Lebanon. last year, the same thing happened. They stepped out and said, hey, a lot of things we don't understand. They're not harming anybody. Even one of the guys that I had watched when he was being arrested by police were there gathered. The guy was talking, looking at them talking. He didn't raise a hand. He didn't slap anybody. He was just expressing. Bro, it therefore means, man, this is dictatorship. This is not right. Let's be real. Please, let's help ourselves.
And there are some certain persons they were actually looking out for. If they had come, they would have arrested them immediately. Like, look at Agba Jalingo, really. He came out to protest. Why arrest them? Look, you worsen the case by arresting them. Allow them to express their opinions.
And you tell them your own point. This is where I'm coming from. Things are really rough. I'm trying to fix things. The economy is going down and all of that. You don't expect them to understand because they are not there with you.
I think that's where we are getting it wrong. We don't use dialogue in this country. Most times we use force. Well, why shouldn't we have stakeholders meeting? Let them know what are the challenges you're having as the government, or as the government of the state, as in government, what are the challenges? Carry the people along. How would they know in fact, we need to be carried along. We see the level of corruption, impunity, and looting, wanton looting that is going on. Look at NDDC, for instance, and every other parastatal that we are hearing. We know they've not even started probing. Sometimes they don't even want to go for probing anymore because if they go, what they will unfold, Nigerians will bleed. So that's basically it, and it's rather sad that in Nigeria here, protest is illegal.
Till another country somewhere will come and be telling us simple things that we would have done, and we wouldn't go on the social media. Nobody will hear anything. Simple things. Wow, that's where we're going to leave it. It's really touching. I tell you the whole truth. Just go to our comment section. No hate words, no hate speeches. Just tell us what's your position on this.